So today's video is going to be about something that's on all of our minds a lot. It feels like, yeah, if you're an adult age or that stage in life, it's either sold to you every single day in the media or you just think about it. A lot of people do. I mean, you have to at some point in your life. And that is about sex. Now I wanted to talk about this because I was watching this TV show the other night and I was just sitting alone in my room laughing my butt off at this episode. It's this old TV show called Freaks and Geeks. I don't know if you heard about it, but in America there's this TV show in the 90s. It's amazing. Like, I just discovered it because when it was out, it was when it was really popular. I was too young to really appreciate it or know what it really was, but now that I'm older, I'm like, why didn't I watch this? It's pure genius. And there's this episode about my favorite character, Sam. He was learning about sex education, and it got me thinking, how did I learn about sex, and when was that point when I was really exposed to it? And girl, if you don't know about sex, I am not going to be the one to tell you about it and have that weight on my shoulders. You are going to have to go to this website called Google and learn about it yourself, or have a real conversation with someone who's older, like a parent, and they can teach you. Although I'm a type of bad person because you're going to learn about how I learned about sex in this video. So the first time I learned about sex, well, not the full scale of it all, just like the menstrual cycle and everything, I will never forget. I was around the 4th or 5th grade. I think it was the 4th grade. That seems kind of young, but we had like these permission slips and our teachers were like really flustered and did not know how they were going to expose this to us and how they're going to teach us, so they had to send us to this class and we had to have our parents sign a permission slip so we could be allowed to take this class, which just confused me. No one knew how to explain what this was to our parents or what it really was, but all we knew is that we were probably going to learn about something really risky and cool, which was sex at the time. But all we got was this like presentation in the middle of the library, and it was a really dark room with a really awkward teacher who was even more awkward than I was at that stage when I was getting, 4th grade was like my chubby stage when I was just about getting chubby and I couldn't fit into like little kids clothes anymore. It was kind of awkwardly weird, just like this teacher was when he was with the little slide overhead projector presentation thing trying to explain to us. They separated the boys and the girls. I'll never forget this. I think the boys had to go to like the PE like gym thing, and there was like a school teacher who was a guy just teaching them about probably condoms, and I don't even know what the boys' speech was about. Of course, I'm a girl. I went to the girls' one. The girls' one, the library, projector like I said, and we got these kits. They looked like plastic. They had like a frosted coating, plastic little lunchbox looking things. And then I thought to myself, oh, maybe we were gonna eat, but you know, that's what was on my mind all the time because like I said, I was chubby at the time, or getting chubby, and all of that was on my mind was food. But this video isn't about food, no, it's about sex. So it was about, we had like all these pamphlets, like a stack of pamphlets, and we had like the pink plastic pads, sanitary napkins to be like proper, as they told us in the 4th grade in the little kit. And what else did we have? We had like, oh, did we have a tampon? I think we had a tampon at that time, but we definitely had like multiple pads, and the pamphlets were hilarious. I will never forget when we got the pamphlet. I remember because all the girls were like really shy, acting like they weren't looking that thoroughly, because if you looked too long, you're being kind of creepy, but if you looked just short enough, you're like one of the average okay kids, but if you look creepily, you're probably considered one of the hoes. Elementary school, yes, we called each other hoes in the 4th grade and 5th grade because we were insane. I lived in kind of a ghetto school. The pamphlets had like drawn out pictures of girls and the stages of when they get like growing hair on their bodies in certain areas, and it was really graphic, and it explained everything that was the explosions that would be going down below in our bodies when we get our menstruation cycles. Let's make sure I don't draw the actual pictures of the naked women in this video and the pamphlet things, because I don't want to expose your eyeballs to that at this point in life. Now let's fast forward to middle school, where we didn't really learn about sex, but we had the talk on like sexual abuse. Didn't really learn about sex yet, just the sexual abuse part. It's like learning about sex in the school systems of the public school systems of California. It seems like a magic show where it's really slow and it takes forever and there's multiple layers of curtains that sounds really gross and disgusting when I think about it. But we had the sexual abuse talk when we went into our PE class. And I will never forget, Miss Carson was the PE teacher, and we went into the cafeteria. Again, I thought we were gonna eat because I was really chubby at this time, and I knew that no one was sexually abusing me, and because I probably looked like a construction worker tomboy at the point with a whole bunch of acne. And so I didn't think it was that useful to me. I did not want to be there. It was just a whole bunch of girls with their booty shorts who were really interested in the conversation because they feel like the teacher's talking about something that they've been through in their life. And I was just sitting in the back like, when is lunch gonna roll around? I'm tired of this. And that was kind of our little sex talk a little bit, because a lot of girls were like asking, when are we gonna have this talk? The ones who were the actual hoes in middle school, there were actual hoes in middle school. I will never forget my friend who actually got pregnant in middle school, but that is another vlog. Now, rolling up to middle school is when we actually learned about sex ed. And I will never forget, was it Mr. Strother? I think it was. We had this teacher who was so boring. Remember the clear eyes will moisturize, that commercial? That guy who was like so dead in the face, you thought that he was talking in slow motion, your life was gonna last like forever in a room if you were like listening to him talk. Yeah, this was our health teacher. And I remember because he was very strict and creepy and weird. And I will never forget because he was showing us the diagram of sex and the diagram of the female body, and his like projector of everything that was going on down below with the females. He had this pencil, and everyone would start laughing because to point everything out, he would point it with this pencil, and we were just picturing that as the man's, let's call it the ding dong. And I don't know why, just having this old man teach us about sex was the most hilarious thing in the world. And I don't even think half of us were even listening to what he was saying because we were giggling or just trying to contain our laughter and sweating to the chairs. And it was always really hot in that classroom. I didn't understand why. And when the boys section came around about sex ed, and we all had co-ed, sex ed in high school, no one really cared because he talked about so intricately that all the people mostly like thought about him trying to like, no, you thought too visually about him because he was kind of really into it, like too into it. It was really creepy. And when it really came down to it, after the fact, I had sex education in public schools. All these things allowed permission slips. I don't know why, so there was ways for people to get around it, but it was really interesting. So I always had my parents sign that off, because if you've ever had an Asian parent try to explain sex to you, it is one of the most difficult things. I'm sure stealing from the White House is a lot easier than talking about sex education to an Asian family. So I always like allowed my parents to sign off on these, and it was really weird and awkward to explain what the permission slips were for, like I said before. And I don't know, just a really funny, interesting part in our lives, I think, sex education. And I think I remember, instead of actually having my mom or dad sit down and talk with me about it, I was lucky enough to have a best friend at the time whose mom was a nurse, and she was one of those moms who always wanted to be the cool moms, you know, the ones who like allowed their kids to drink at an early age, which I don't think that's really cool. And I will never forget when my friend got so wasted and she wasn't even old enough, she was like crawling on hands and knees, puking, and I was laughing my butt off. But yeah, that is my story on how I learned about sex. And like I said before, if you don't know about it yet, girl, I am not going to be the one to tell you. So I would like to know in today's video is, when did you first learn about sex, or just like have exposure to it and learn a little bit of knowledge? Leave me a comment or video response below, because last time on Sketch Vlogs we talked about what have you been disappointed in lately, and a lot of you guys have been saying the weather, and I could agree. It is kind of chilly here, even in California sometimes, and it's springtime, it's like, where is the sunshine? And a lot of you were saying you're disappointed in yourselves, and I just wanted to say that everything will get better, and I'm sure as long as you work hard, you guys can accomplish things, and I really believe in you. So thank you guys so much for watching. And last video we did the giveaway, so if you still want to enter that contest, I'm sure if this is posted Friday, you have like a couple more days to enter that contest. The contest ends on this coming Monday. I'll put the date here, and the information to that will be down below. You click the first like link thing, it'll take you to the intrigue contest widget thing where you can enter the contest to win iPhone cases. And this is going to be the last couple days. It ends at the end of March on March 31st, where you get 10% off all original artworks from these videos on my Etsy page. Links to all that will be down below. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will be seeing you on Monday with a new video, and Fridays we will always be doing sketch vlogs and chit-chatting and talking because you guys are like my friends. So I love you guys. Bye.